So hi, my name is Peter Morton. I'm a software engineer at Google, where I work on the self-driving car project. My team is a perception team, and what that basically means is that we're interpreting the sensor data from all different sensors on the car, like the cameras and the lasers, and we're turning that into information that's useful to the car when it's driving. So you can think of a camera as being something that just tells us like where there's an object that's blue over there, or there's like something red over there, or a laser just says that in this direction there's something 20 meters away. And our job is to turn that into information that says like that's a car, that's a pedestrian, this object is coming towards you. Okay, so I've always been interested in engineering and building things and making things. And I started off with things like Lego and Meccano, and then I got into electronics to make things move, and eventually into computer programming to give me a bit more control over what I was building. So I've always liked taking things apart and putting it back together and just finding out how things work. So one of my most interesting experiences with robotics so far is when I was a student, I was a PhD student at the University of Sydney, and we're doing some experiments to see how the robots would react to different environmental conditions. And so we took the robots out to the farm in rural New South Wales, and we tried a whole lot of things like flares and smoke, and we drove the robots around in tall grass, and we even had a flamethrower out there just to see what would happen. So obviously, for the project that I'm working on at Google, then software is a really big component of what we do. Like, you need to build the hardware like a car and sensors and things, but in the end, to make decisions about how to drive the car, then those decisions are being made by software. So outside of the self-driving car project and outside Google, I think that computer science is going to become a more and more important area. If you look at a scientist, for example, that's doing lots of experiments and gathering data, then they want to analyze that data, and if they know how to program, then that makes their life so much easier. I think just in general, we're developing ways to collect more and more information, but until people know how to program their computers, then actually processing and using that information is really hard to do. Yeah, so my advice for people that are interested in computer science and engineering is just to go out and to build things. A lot of engineering is not about having memorized a formula or something. It's more about like learning how to work through a problem and to come up with a solution. And that's something you can only practice by going out there and trying stuff. So I think advice that I'd give my younger self is be really prepared to take risks and to try out new things. And there's lots of things that might seem scary or like a bad idea that might fail, but everything you do is a learning experience, and just going out and trying things and being prepared to fail at things is like the way you learn and you grow and become better. So in my spare time, I am a saxophone player. I like to play a lot of music. I've played in a bunch of funk bands, being my favorite kind of music. And at the moment, one of the strange things I'm doing is I regularly play in a jazz jam band made up of former NASA engineers at the NASA Ames campus here in Mountain View. That's pretty fun.